You know what time it is. I know what time it is. We're over here with Grapplechat. August 1st. My goodness, the 8th month of the year is already here. Where has the time gone? Where has it gone, man? We're days away from Takeover Brooklyn, days away from SummerSlam, and man, are things definitely getting in full swing when it comes to NXT here. This was not an actionless episode of NXT. I expected the episode after the title change and everything to be more of like a recap-ish episode, and at first it was. At first it actually was. There was a lot of recapping. They actually had a whole hype package to show what happened last week, and it was pretty well put together. It showcased the match that Aleister Black had with Tommaso Ciampa. It showcased the interference of Johnny Gargano, and they didn't drop the ball. They did not drop the ball there because as we go further in this review, you'll see that they kept that entire thing alive. So I liked it. I liked the way this started off. I was a little, like I said, I was worried that was going to be the precedent, that was going to be a reoccurring theme that they're going to continuously tell us about last week. But nope, they did a good job. What is up, everybody? Let me first say what's up to all the people who are in the chat. This is a live review. I do these live about 15 minutes after each show goes off the air, whether it's a takeover event, whether it's SummerSlam, Extreme Rules, Raw, SmackDown, NXT. I normally do a grapple chat for these things, so if you want to come by and give me your thoughts on what you just watched, or if you just want to know what I thought about something right after, I do these 15 minutes later, and they're live, filmed live and on location. No scripts, no none of that stuff. Just the real feelings I got from each show, and the real rating I'm giving it right after it goes off the air. So thank you to, I see Blueprint in the chat. I see JazzyBot in the chat. I see Buck Nasty Gaming in the chat. I see Finish Hype King. As I said before, I saw Greg Clary. He became the newest boss. If you guys want to come by and assert your dominance, become the boss, it only takes that's a $3 donation or a $3 super chat, gets you right in there. And also this month, I am doing a boss rumble. It's something that people have come out and really enjoyed. The boss rumble is where everybody who becomes a boss. So whoever takes out Greg Clearing gets in that spot. You get a spot too in the boss rumble, where you get to choose one superstar who will represent you in my boss rumble. I'm going to be playing it in the game WWE 2K18. I almost said NBA. WWE 2K18. It's all going to be computer controlled, so it's random, and you just pick whoever you like, and I put you in the rumble after I get a full roster, and we find out who wins. And if your character wins, you get something cool. I'm not going to announce it yet, but we'll be talking about that. So come on by if that sounds intriguing to you. I'd like for you to contribute to the channel, but on top of that, I'd like to give you something cool as a thank you for hooking us up out here. So let's get in. Oh, Looking Crazy's in the chat too. What is up? And David Ferris. What is up? David Ferris and Looking Crazy. Didn't want to leave them out. So yeah, and if you're watching this after the fact, you can always leave a comment in the comment section to let me know what you thought about NXT or any of WWE's shows that they put on a weekly basis. So let's get in here. The show started off with Heavy Machinery versus the Mighty, which is what I was thinking would be a blow-off match that would happen at like a takeover. Based on how long they were building it and everything, I think that the Mighty and Heavy Machinery have had a build longer than most builds in NXT. So I thought that this would be, maybe even just on the card, not for a title or anything like that. Of course, not for a title at this point. But I really thought that they would save this. So when I saw the Mighty come out, I was like, "What? They're already fighting them?" So I think that it kind of trivialized the whole thing. But we got into the match. It's a pretty dang good match. It was a pretty good match. I mean, there's not really much I could say about it. It struck me as an okay match. They definitely hit a few good notes here or there, and the Street Profits came out. I don't know what the Street Profits were doing here. It was really strange, but Street Profits came out in the middle of the match and distracted the Mighty. I don't know, maybe the Mighty's gonna have a feud with them, or maybe they're gonna do maybe they're trying to set up something ahead of time for War Games, or maybe they're gonna do a quadruple tag team thing, or I don't know. This is really strange. It left me with kind of this feeling of what's going on here. So, and I think a lot of people had that same thing going on as well. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. AlwayzFitshaced, what's up, AlwayzFitshaced? He's in the house too. What is up? Um, so as I said, the Street Profits just came out. They distracted Nick Miller and Shane Thorne, and Heavy Machinery picks up the win. It was just confusion right there. So it started off okay. I mean, it was an okay match. It wasn't anything really crazy to write home about, but I do like that both members of Heavy Machinery they seem to be really embracing their characters, and the crowd seems to be embracing them as well. I was worried about them at first, but they're definitely getting in the swing of things. So it was good. And of course, Shane Miller and Nick Thorne, they're good. Or Nick Miller and Shane Thorne. Sorry, Nick Miller and Shane Thorne. Of course, they're doing their dang thing. They're one of the more talented tag teams, and I like their new ring gear as well. I think that their theme song doesn't really go with their heel persona at the moment, but that ring gear sure does. It's really nice ring gear. Plus, it was matching my outfit today, so maybe that's part of why I liked it so much. Next up, we got Moustache Mountain came out, and they fought some developmental talent. I don't remember the names of these two guys, but it was a pretty rudimentary match, just run of the mill. Moustache Mountain, the the performance center, aka developmental talent, they put in a pretty dang good bit of offense against Moustache Mountain, or a little bit more resilience than in a normal squash match. I expected this match to be over probably like 3 minutes before it ended, so at least they let the local talent do something. I don't know where they're from. They might not even be local. Maybe they flew them in from Japan. I don't know where they're from, but these guys say they definitely held their own for a little bit. But in the end, Moustache Mountain's just way too talented, and they came out on top with the finisher where Trent Seven put the biggest guy on his back, a guy who looked like he weighed maybe 40 pounds more than Trent Seven, put him on his back, and then Tyler Bate comes off the top rope with two knees straight to the head of the guy and flips him over, and then they just get the pin. So uh, they started NXT off with two tag matches. Two pretty okay tag matches. Nothing extremely like, man, you got to write this down. Let's rate it the highest match of the year, but not bad either. Really did enjoy it. Then we got EC3 versus Kona Reeves, and I really enjoyed this match. I really liked the character work involved here, and Kona Reeves, he's definitely doing the same thing I was talking about with Heavy Machinery. How I was worried about him at first, but he seems to be embracing his character more. And I heard the boos from the crowd. There are people who are checking into his character more and actually caring about the fact that he's out there saying he's the finest and all that. And EC3 and him had a pretty good back and forth. I don't think Kona Reeves is the finest wrestler by any means, but he he says he is, and as long as he believes it and keeps it up and keeps continuously improving, I think he's going to be a good act out there. He's big, he's fast, he's smooth, but EC3, he's all that and a weird haircut. He's all that and more. EC3 was epic in this match. Um, about 75% of the way through this match, Velveteen Dream's music hits. Velveteen Dream comes out, and he has a mic, and he's just like, "Hey, man, I invite you to the experience, EC3, because you can't. Somebody just can't get over what happened at Royal Albert Hall. So, you want to talk about it? Let's talk about it, EC3." And this gave Kona Reeves the time that he needed to actually spring his attack on EC3 and hit him with this incredible. It's like a fall away Samoan drop release. Like he put EC3 up so high in the air before he dropped him, and I thought it was over. I'm like, oh, you got distracted and you got hit with the finisher. It's over. But somehow EC3 kicks out of the thing that normally takes everybody out. The distraction finisher. Somebody cuts a promo, then somebody rolls up behind you and hits you with their finisher, and it's done for. But EC3 actually got out of it. He got out of the three count. He hops up and he just grabs Kona Reeves on his back and is like, "Nope, you're getting my finisher." Hits him with that it's kind of just like it's almost like a airplane spin, but only your opponent is spinning, and then he just drops him with the neck breaker, kind of like a diamond cutter, but like a swinging diamond cutter. It's a really cool. He calls it the 1%, I guess, and it put away Kona Reeves. He was done after that move. It was beautiful. I liked it. I liked it a lot. He's all that and a bag of chips. His hair looks like a bag of chips, man. EC3's hair is doing something weird up there. Um, but pretty good match between Kona Reeves and EC3. I don't know what's next for Kona Reeves. I don't know if he's gonna get involved with the feud that is obviously brewing between EC3 and Velveteen Dream. Right after this match, they were backstage like immediately, and it looked like EC3. It looked like this might have been a pre-taped interview or something because EC3 wasn't sweating or anything. He was just sitting there, and it was just right after the match was over. And the interviewer's like, "So, what do you say to that invitation from Velveteen Dream?" And he's like, "I do accept that invitation." And he cuts a little promo. It was pretty good. So EC3 is going to fight against Velveteen Dream sometime soon, most likely at Takeover. Cool stuff here. Then we got Shayna Baszler versus Candace LaRae, and I was like, man, Candace, I'm so sorry. You're about to get destroyed. I feel sorry for every woman who steps in the ring with Shayna Baszler because she's just at a different level right now in intensity, in viciousness, and it seems like she's out there just trying to win. She's not out there trying to wrestle. Like, you know, when people step up to the plate in like baseball and they have this like weird stance where they like hold the bat above their head or whatever, it's like you could tell that person is a baseball player. Or when a person shoots a free throw in basketball and they all have this like, not everybody, but a lot of people have the exact same form. Like, okay, this is how you shoot. You know, you got to make the tee. You got to make the tee with your thumbs and then just like this and make sure you flick the wrist and use the, it's like you see people who are in sports who are using the same form because it's become the like accepted way that you're supposed to do things out there. Well, when it comes to wrestling against Shayna Baszler, it's like I see wrestlers who are out there like, okay, suplex time. Oh, it's time to hit you with a forearm. Like, and then she's out there and she just literally looks like she's trying to win a match by any means necessary. She's cracking Candace's arm like behind her back and like moving the wrist aside and all this and doing all kinds of crazy stuff to just inflict maximum damage. And it just looks like night and day. It looks like one person's wrestling and Shayna's out there trying to kill you. So I just feel sorry for Candace. As soon as she comes out, she's got this like nice frilly bright uh, gear on and stuff with like flowers on it. I'm like, oh no! And then Shayna Baszler comes out. You can just feel this different sort of aura around her. Like, okay, you want to wrestle? Well, that's too bad because I'm just gonna win. Okay, I'm gonna win however I want. Uh, and she proceeded to do that. She proceeded to put Candice LeRae in a lot of compromising positions, snapping her arms behind her back, stomping her arm all kinds of crooked on the mat. Just vindictive, vicious. But with one arm pretty much out of commission, Candice LeRae mounts a comeback. A very believable comeback because she kept selling that arm and she was just beating away at Shayna with the other arm, making her miss some of her stomps. She took it to the outside at one point. They came back in. Candice LeRae came off the second rope with something that looked like it was supposed to be a DDT, but it just turned into like a touch her on the head, face buster type of thing. Really, really lackluster. That was kind of this one of the sad spots of the whole match. But she redeemed herself with a hurricane DDT or tornado DDT. It was very nice from the second rope. Folded Shayna Baszler in half, but then she took it to the top rope one too many times, and Shayna Baszler grabbed her around the neck off the top rope, and then it just choked her out. But she was too close to the ropes, so she got a rope break. But man, after that rope break, Shayna Baszler she could smell blood in the water. It looked like, and I just love how she does seem like once she smells blood in the water, she just keeps going after these people. She doesn't monologue too much. She doesn't sit there like a lot of heel wrestlers and be like, ah, yeah, look at me, look at how good I am, everyone. Let this person who I just beat up, let him heal. Let them get better. Let them get their bearings while I'm over here talking and doing nothing to them. Like, she doesn't do that. As soon as she's smelling blood, she's on you, and it's over pretty much. She snatches Candice LeRae with the Kirifuda clutch in the center of the ring, and there's no hope for a rope. It's over. Candice LeRae has to tap out, and then Shayna Baszler continues to just beat her up. She's just out there to hurt people, man. She continues to beat up Candice LeRae, and then out of nowhere comes Ahoy! Kairi Sane runs down to the ring and botches her in-ring roll. Just when I'm like, hey, this Kairi Sane person, she's really getting her stuff together. Just when I start saying just when I start believing that maybe it's over, maybe she's not gonna be all weirdly botchy anymore, she botches a roll into the ring. But she eventually made her way into the ring, and then she got caught up in the ropes. So I was like, what? Come on. She saves Candice LeRae and sends Shayna Baszler running off. Well, not running off, but just walking off with her title. And the refs, there's like two refs trying to pretend like it's hard to hold back Kairi Sane. She's like, let me go. I'm going to get you. And that was the end of that. And next up comes probably my favorite part of the show, which was where Tommaso Ciampa comes out. No theme music, still no theme music. Just walks out with this brand new title, and there's some lady in the front row that is just magic, dude. There's some lady who is just talking so much trash to Tommaso Ciampa. She's like, somebody should take that title from you. You should not have that. Somebody needs to take the title away. And it was just so funny because somebody said it sounded like it was somebody's mom, and I totally agree. This lady was one of the highlights of NXT because she was talking trash, man. She was talking trash. Yeah, it took two refs to keep Kairi Sane away from Shayna Baszler. Yeah, sure. I don't believe it. I don't believe it, man. Like, they were trying to pretend like it was hard, but it didn't look like they were very strained. So Tommaso Ciampa gets up into the ring, and he starts, like, the crowd is just chanting, "You're an a-hole," and they're just chanting all kinds of stuff, and they're like, "Shut up," or they just, like, there were even chants I'd never heard before. This NXT crowd was hot, heated. The heat on Tommaso Ciampa is off the charts, man. He has done such a great job, and he continues to do a great job of reveling in it. And the things that he was saying, like he had the belt, and he got up on the top rope with the belt, and everybody was like booing and stuff, and he gets up on the top rope and he just looks around and he goes, "It's really heavy." He's talking about his belt. It's really heavy, and he keeps saying it's heavy. Like, what the heck? He's just magical, and he's so free and just living in that role. I appreciate it so much because this is something that a lot of superstars aren't doing, is living in the role, actually giving you that character inside and out, and having it be part of who they are. They're not turning it on, they're not turning it off, they're just doing it. They're just out there doing it. And he's not like trying to make his voice all gravelly and like, I'm a villain now. He's not trying to do any of that. He's just talking like he would normally talk, but he's just got this like disregard. And when everybody was chanting negatively towards him, he's like, what's that you say? Did you say yes? Did you say you deserve me? I think you guys do deserve me. We make such a good team together. He was just getting the crowd was in his hand, and he was just like, ha ha ha, like, beautiful stuff. So eventually the promo comes to a close in this fashion.
Never in the history of this business has there been such a big gap between number 2 and number 1. I'm the main event. I'm untouchable. And now, not only is this proof that I am your NXT champion, but this is proof that NXT is now and forever the A show, because I, Tommaso Ciampa, just happen to be the greatest sports entertainer of all time.
Uh-oh. Here comes Aleister Black. Aleister Black just walking down to the ring without a care, but from behind him comes a sprinting Johnny Gargano.
Right past Black and immediately attacks Tommaso Ciampa.
Beats the heck out of him.
Obsession with Ciampa.
Just won't let it go.
Oh my goodness. So he sends Johnny Gargano sends Tommaso Ciampa out of the ring, and right into the crowd that hates him so much. And Johnny takes the mic.
This is not your NXT. Not while I'm still breathing. The only reason you're NXT champion is because of me.
Aleister Black is standing right behind Johnny
Look
Gargano
at me.
right now.
Look at me. The only reason you are NXT champion is because of me. The only reason he's NXT champion is because of me.
Crack Ottawa. Aleister Black mass perfectly right on the chin. Cracks Johnny Gargano, leaves him just laid out. And the crowd is actually like, yeah, good job. Good job. You deserve it, Johnny. You deserve it. And then Aleister Black takes the mic, and he's just like, yeah, you're right. The only reason he is champ is because of you. And then that's pretty much how the whole episode ends. They zoom in, they show Johnny Gargano holding his chin, and Aleister Black leaves, and we're left to speculate. Well, William Regal comes on the camera and says, hey, yeah, next, I will honor the match between EC3 and Velveteen Dream, and they also told us that Ricochet will be in action next week, and also they told us that there's going to be a debut next week of, what was his name? I forgot his name, but there's a debut next week of a fairly high caliber athlete. So next week's NXT is looking very, very nice. Like I said, I do these off the cuff. I don't script these out. That way you guys get my real opinion. I don't get to sit here for 2 or 3 days to try to think about what I'm gonna say and check the pulse of the WWE universe so that I get in line with everything that everyone else is saying and just start using everybody else's review as some sort of mile stick or yardstick or anything. So it's literally just my feelings, up to date, 15 minutes after the show goes off the air. No spoilers, no looking at what everybody else is talking about. So I think that's one of the best things about my reviews is that it's really just me telling you how I feel. Keith Lee, there you go, Keith Lee. Thank you guys. Thank you, chat. Blueprint and Kid Phantom. Keith Lee. That's who's. Thank you. See, you guys are awesome. The live chat is great. Team Gritty definitely comes through. They help me out so much. So yeah, Keith Lee next week and Ricochet. I wonder if there's going to be any crossover there. I don't know, man. I don't know. But Mustache Mountain did say they are invoking their rematch clause at TakeOver Brooklyn. So that is a definite. That is in the books now. So at TakeOver Brooklyn, we will see Mustache Mountain versus Undisputed Era, and I am going to love that, man. They killed it at Royal Albert Hall. They're going to kill it at TakeOver. It's probably going to be even better. It's probably going to be an even better match. But I think that somehow Undisputed Era will retain those titles. But I'm not going to get into my predictions yet. I'm just going to tell you guys my rating. So everybody in the chat, you let me know what your rating is. I'm going to tell you my rating for this episode of NXT is, I'm going to give it a firm like 7.5. I didn't see anything too outstanding wrestling wise, and story wise it seemed like a continuation type of thing. Nothing truly started here, so it wasn't as must see as some of the episodes of NXT have been recently. And I rate this way. Normally, if you guys are wondering how I rate things, I rate if it's must see. Like if you missed this episode, will you be like lost in space next time you watch NXT? Will you just not know anything that's going on? So I rate based off of its must see. Storytelling. Is there something that if you miss this, you won't know? You have to go back and know, or they'll have to recap you and let you clue you in on it. I also rate based off of the match quality, the quality of the matches. If there's just some like must-see awesomeness that happens, or if some a team pushes it, or a single superstar pushes it to the next level where you're like, dude, I didn't even know this guy was this good. I also rate off of the interactions between people, the acting, the attention to detail, the brutality involved, or the lack of brutality involved. Sometimes you don't need brutality to really tell a story. Sometimes it's more about like friendship and saving each other, involved in a storyline and building a friendship. So sometimes there's a lot of things that I put into a rating. So overall, I didn't see much of any of that that was just must see. So 7.5 because the wrestling was good, the storytelling was good, and it's an episode that if you missed it, you probably won't be missing much. They just basically confirmed things that we already kind of were thinking about. So maybe it'll be a triple threat between Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, and Aleister Black at TakeOver. I would like to see that, but it also kind of gives Ciampa a way to keep that belt without really having to get pinned or anything, or really having to pin anybody. Well, actually, it gives everybody involved. Let me rephrase that. It gives everybody involved a way to get the belt without having to pin Ciampa exactly. So they could still keep him looking strong. They could keep the belt on him. Man, like I said, I'm not going to give my predictions right now. But if there was anything that I really got out of this I'm really looking forward to more than anything, it's that tag match, and it's definitely got to be what's going to happen with Ciampa next. So what are you guys saying? Let's find out. What's in the chat? I see 7.6 from Blueprint. I see 8. 8 cracked Gargano jaws out of 10 from Buck Nasty. I see you. Looking Crazy says 6. Ooh, that's pretty bad. I mean, it's not bad, but I guess if 5 is average, then 6, yeah, this is just a little better than average. I would say so. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Kid Phantom says 7. I think 205 Live was better than this. Oh, well, the wrestling for sure. Wrestling wise, Blueprint, I definitely agree with that. Finish Hype King says 7.7 out of 10. Yeah, so we're right about. Meatball Anime says 7.5. So yeah, pretty much everybody that I'm in contact with currently is saying it's somewhere between like a 7.5 and like a 6. So I would say probably the average between all those ratings is probably like a 7.4 or so, 7.5, right around what I said. Pretty good episode. I would say it's definitely worth a watch. Some of the wrestling was good. A lot of it got kind of interrupted or cut short. But overall, as usual, NXT puts on a great show. I'm actually going to say that SmackDown might have been a better show this week than NXT. SmackDown might have been a better show, and 205 Live was definitely better in terms of wrestling. So this may be the first week of the last couple months where NXT was not the must-see show. It was not the must-see show of the week. I'm gonna say that SmackDown was the must-see show of the week. SmackDown, and then probably, it depends on what you like. If you just like the storytelling, I'd say SmackDown was the must-see show. Raw was probably the show after that. Then NXT, and then 205 Live. Wrestling-wise, 205 Live. NXT maybe beat out SmackDown. Raw is dead last because I think there was like 2 matches on Raw or something. There wasn't a whole lot of wrestling on Raw. Actually, there was a couple. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches. There were 5 matches on Raw. Okay. Well, still, Raw's dead last in terms of wrestling quality, especially the whole Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt thing. Man, those guys do not look interested at all to be there. But anyway, I'm not going to start harping on other shows. But yeah, I'd say SmackDown was the must-see show of the week. So if you crunch for time and you really just want to get a piece of wrestling in your life, I'd say start with SmackDown this week. NXT loses its throne for the first time in months. This was a good show still. It's just SmackDown really stepped it up, and I think a lot of that had to do with Promo Joe's promo, dude. I call him Promo Joe because his promos are off the charts. His promo this week. If you could only have like 5 minutes to watch something this week, Watch that promo. Samoa Joe's promo, dude. It was off the freaking charts. Whew. Oh, it was so good. But thank you guys so much for being part of my NXT review. Grapplechat, dude. It is always a pleasure. I hope you guys like the new background as well. This layout, I love it. That's why I'm bringing it up. But I hope you guys love it as well. I'll be online later on tonight for the Nitty Gritty on my Twitch channel. The Nitty Gritty is my weekly gaming and entertainment talk show where I show off the newest, hottest trailers for movies, games. I give you a bit of video game news. There's some comedy. I have a special guest. You guys get to choose what we're watching. There are all kinds of cool stuff on that show. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. It is twitch.tv/Gritty Urban Saga. Also, if you just go to my main YouTube channel, there's a link right up there. Unless you're on mobile, I don't know how to get to it on mobile. I think you just go over to the About section. Yeah, you just go over to About, and then you go down, and there should be a link right there. But thank you guys so much. Thank you to everybody who was part of this review. Thank you for helping me with the name Keith Lee. I would have never remembered that. It was, yes, Raw was a cosmic anomaly. Anomaly. Yeah, three matches exactly. SmackDown didn't have very many, but it still took home the gold because they did a really good job, man. Go back and watch SmackDown for sure. Much love, much respect. I really thank you guys for giving me your ratings as well, because what's a review show without knowing people's ratings, right? I will catch you guys on the flip side. If I don't see you over on Twitch, if all you do is watch my wrestling content on YouTube, well, guess what? There's a whole lot more where that came from because I uploaded the second part of the SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 playthrough. That's up. It's about a half an hour long, so if you're looking for something to do or something to fall asleep to or whatever, check it out, guys. Leave a comment, leave a thumbs up, and enjoy yourself. I also uploaded the free games for PlayStation Plus and Games with Gold. So if you own an Xbox One or a PS4, you'll definitely want to look into that because free games are always good stuff. What else? Anything I'm missing? That's about it. Thank you guys so much. Or watch some other stuff. I got a lot of videos on my YouTube channel. I can't wait to see you guys there. Can't wait to see you in the comment section. And please remember to leave a thumbs up on this video if you haven't already. I appreciate you guys. And I'll catch you guys next time. Gritty Urban and Grapplechat out.